Picture this. You are a 23-year-old graduate who did everything right. You learned Python, shipped side project, cleared lead code, and then one morning an email arrives. Due to organizational restructuring and AI-driven efficiency, were unable to proceed with your joining. You didn't even get to start. Now, multiply that story by few lakhs. At the exact same time that companies are showing record profits and AI breakthroughs, but they are quietly deleting the very jobs that create tomorrow's leaders. Entry-level roles are vanishing, middle managers are restructured, and the people who were supposed to learn, grow, and one day run these companies never even entered the building. This is the hidden risk of AI-driven efficiency, and if it continues, the real casualty won't just be jobs. It will be the future of innovation itself. Over the last 2 years, business headlines have started to sound like a broken record. On one side, tech giants invest billions in AI. On the other side, the same tech giants announces massive layoffs. Amazon announces plan to cut 30,000 corporate roles while its stock price hit all-time high. Microsoft reports 12% profit growth during its biggest round of layoffs in 2 years. This isn't classic recession behavior. These companies are not dying, they are upgrading. Publicly, the story is simple. AI will make us more productive. Fewer people, more output, higher margins. Privately, the logic is even simpler. Jeffrey Hilton, the Nobel Prize winner and the godfather of AI, claims the scale of capital investments made in AI is so large that the only way they can pay off is via massive job destruction. Some executives even say it out loud. Accenture, for example, announced a cut of 11,000 workers in September, declaring that these employees could not be retrained for an AI-driven workforce. In other words, if you can't keep up with the machines keeps your job. But there is a problem with this narrative. Most companies still have no idea how to actually use AI well. One large survey of corporate AI projects found that the vast majority delivered zero measurable return on investment. Swedish company Klarna has earlier laid off roughly 700 employees, replacing their jobs with AI-driven automation for customer support and related tasks. Over time, the company realized that AI-only approach was hurting service quality. Customers complained about generic, unhelpful responses and overall satisfaction dropped. As a result, Klarna is now rehiring humans, rebuilding its customer support team, acknowledging that AI could not fully replace the human touch. About 4 in 10 business leaders have laid off employees as a result of deploying AI, and of those, 55% admit they made the wrong decision about it. AI isn't plug-and-play employee, it's a force multiplier, and as history shows, if we remove the humans it's supposed to multiply, the whole equation breaks. For over a century, careers in complex organizations followed an unwritten pattern. You entered at the bottom, you did the boring work, you made mistakes where the damage was small, you watched people better than you make decisions, and slowly experience turned into judgment. Today, the entry-level step itself is fading away. AI is now excellent at the exact thing entry-level workers used to do: triaging customer emails, drafting basic reports and summaries, cleaning and transforming data, generating fast drafts of code, presentation, or campaigns. To a CFO staring at a spreadsheet, the math looks irresistible. Why hire 50 junior analysts when one senior analyst with an AI assistant can do the same work? But here is the catch. Those junior analysts were never just cheap labor. They were the future leaders. They were the people who learned how the business really works, which metrics actually matters, which risks are real. Remove that early stage and 10 years from now, you don't just have fewer employees. You have fewer people who understand how to think. You can train someone to use a new AI dashboard in a weekend. You can't train 10 years of pattern recognition that comes from sitting in painful meeting and seeing how decisions blow up in the real world. But the cuts don't stop there. If entry-level employees are the root of the company, middle managers are the stem. They are unpopular, easy target for a budget reduction. They don't build product. They don't close deals. So when org restructure, this layer is often first in the firing line. But what looks like a fat in an org chart is often invisible infrastructure. Middle managers translate CEO slogan into actual tasks, protect junior staff from catastrophic mistakes, whispers the unwritten rules. Don't send that email. Don't challenge that person in public. Here is what this client actually wants. They also do something AI simply can't do. Look a terrified 24-year-old in the eye and say, "You are not stupid. Here is what you missed. Try it in this way instead." That is tactics knowledge. It lives in people. It passes through stories and unrecorded conversations. When you fire this layer and replace it with dashboard and HR portals, you don't just save salaries, you break the link between generations of workers. Now imagine what your organization looks like 8 years later. Almost no people who started at the bottom and grew up understanding the system. Very few seasoned managers who know how to coach or course correct. A small elite of senior executives staring at AI-generated dashboards full of numbers. No one knows how to interpret it context. Efficiency today, blindness tomorrow. Here is the paradox. The more disruptive a technology is, the more human capacity you need to harness it. Electricity didn't just replace candles. It required people to rethink factories, cities, and even sleep patterns. The internet didn't just replace fax machines. It forced organizations to rebuild everything from supply chains to advertising. AI will be far more disruptive than both. Research on layoffs during good times shows a consistent pattern. Short-term costs go down, long-term performance and innovation suffer. People who remain becomes more risk-averse, not more creative. And this is crucial in the context of AI. To actually get value from AI, team needs to experiment with new workflows, take risk on unproven tools, admit when a process is broken and redesign it from scratch. But what happens inside a company that has just gone through a wave of AI-justified layoffs? Survivors don't think, how can I experiment with this new model and transform our process? They think, if this goes wrong, I am next. So they play it safe, they tick boxes, they comply. In other words, the exact mindset you need for real AI-era innovation, curious, experimental, resilient, is systematically killed by the way many companies are using AI to fire people. The result? A strange kind of zombie efficiency. Spreadsheets look amazing, headcount look optimized, but beneath that, the organization slowly loses its capacity to learn. Now, zoom out from companies to a whole generation. If you are in your early 20s today, here is the new reality. Fewer entry-level jobs, more competition from laid-off mid-career professionals, employers demanding 2 to 3 years of experience for your first job. The only people left standing are a shrinking elite who already made it, a precarious layer of contractors who is not interested to know in depth. This isn't just a labor market issue, it's a civilization one. Whenever critics raise this concern, there is a standard corporate response. Don't worry, we have upskilling programs. And to be fair, upskilling is good. People should learn how to use AI tools. They should understand data, automation, and new workflows. But there is a hard limit. A 3-day prompt engineering workshop can teach you how to talk to a model. It can teach you how to handle a client meltdown, how to push back against a bad strategy without getting fired, how to sense when a metric is lying to you. That's only come from doing the job with real stakes over time. Upskilling builds competency, experience builds judgment, leadership requires both. The current model, replace experience with AI plus a course, is like trying to train pilots purely on flight simulators and then sending them straight into a hurricane with passengers on board. So if the current path is risky, what's the alternative? The answer isn't stop using AI. It would be both unrealistic and wasteful. The answer is changing what we optimize for. Instead of asking, how many people can we replace, companies should be asking, how can AI free up humans to do higher quality work and develop faster? That looks very different in practice. Keep entry-level roles, but redesign them. Let AI handles the repetitive part of the work, while juniors shadow higher stake decisions sooner than previous generations could. Protect middle management, but measure them differently. Don't just evaluate them on deliverables. Evaluate them on how many people they grow into larger roles. Treat layoffs as last resort. Companies that do this will still get the benefits of AI, but instead of hollowing out their future, they will be compounding it. AI isn't destiny, it's a tool. We can use it to build the most capable, educated, creative workforce in history. Or we can use it to save a few quarters of profit and quietly erase the next generation of innovators. The real question isn't will AI take our jobs? It's will we still have any leaders left who know how to use it wisely? If you are early in your career or managing people who are, that question isn't abstract, it's your future. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video.